Would you like to know how to be recognized as an expert in your field? Would you like to be the go-to person that everybody reaches out to when they've got questions about your area of expertise? Well, today I had lunch with a former client that's moved on to a new position, and that was the exact question they asked for me at lunch. It's just, Jonathan, how do I reach out to my audience and have them reach out to me when they have a need? How do I let my audience know what I do, how I can help them, how I can make their life better, and how do I get them to reach out to me? And that's really what topical authority is all about. It's about being seen as that expert in your field, making sure that people know who you are and what you do, and probably most importantly, how you can make their life better. And so we talked this morning, we talked at lunch about how to do that. And I want to share that with you because I think the discussion was good. My client, Nick, was absolutely amazed. He said he was thrilled with the information he got. He's all excited to go ahead and really start pursuing this. And so I want to talk to you about what we did, and I'm just going to walk you through the process. So the first step, if you want to be seen as an authority in your niche, the first thing you need to do, and you have to start here, is you have to understand who is your audience. Who are you trying to reach? Who are you trying to impress? What group of people, when they look for your product or services or area of expertise, do you want to be seen as an expert by? And once you've done that, the next step is to identify what is it that you can provide them that makes their life better. In other words, how would working with you improve their life? Once you've identified that, and of course, I guess I jumped ahead a step because you do also need to understand what your area of expertise is and what you're going to be doing that does bring them value. But it's not about the services that you deal with. In this case, I was talking to Nick, and Nick is an expert at data analysis, and he's an absolutely brilliant mind as far as understanding how data goes together and how an organization can use that data and how they can leverage that to help them do a better job of the things that they do. That's all great and dandy, but Nick needs, and has in this case, he needs a way to present that to the people that he wants to help. And so that began our discussion by understanding who that audience is. Who can he help? And based on his experience, he's got a very specific audience that he can help. He actually has a product that he can sell them that helps them out, and it meets a specific need that they have that they're already struggling with. And that's another key part. As you're identifying your audience, they have to have a problem that you can fix. If they don't have a problem, they don't have any reason to use your product or services, and therefore they need to have a problem that you can fix. So that was easy, and that part we got done even before we ordered lunch. And then came the meat of the discussion, where we started talking about becoming that topical expert and building that authority. And I'm going to be as blunt with you as I was with Nick, and I want to let you know that becoming an expert isn't for everybody, because it's not a simple switch. You can't develop topical authority and become an expert in your niche by doing one thing, or even doing a few things. I'm going to tell you about my story. So I decided at the end of 2022 that I really wanted to develop my personal brand. I wanted to focus on that, and I wanted to do that because I want to help others. And in my case, I'm passionate about digital marketing, and I believe that while there are a number of amazing companies in the field, there's many that, aren't so amazing as well. And I want to help the customers that I work with succeed online and do the things that help them achieve their goals. So I began by creating videos, and I made the goal of publishing one video every single day. Now, when I got started, I did it the wrong way. I would talk about what was ever on my mind that day, and wasn't necessarily always related. Being a 50-something that has ADD, my mind goes all over, and not every day was I talking about the things that my customers or my potential customers, my audience, was interested in. I spent some time and learned from a course offered by Sean Cannell, or Cannell, I believe it is, I'm sorry. And Sean taught that, one of the key things is you need to be consistent in your videos. for two purposes. One, so that your audience knows what to expect, but also so that as you're posting those videos and that content, that the platforms you're posting it on, YouTube and the social media channels like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all that, that they know who you are and they know who wants to consume your content because your content is consistent. So Nick and I talked about the fact that one of the first things he needed to do was begin creating content and video, and in my mind that is really twofold to start off with. It's written content in the form of articles and blog posts, and it's video content, long form like this and short form, less than 60 seconds. And he needed to begin doing that and answering the questions that his audience has to ask. And this is where I say it's not like a switch, because I told Nick that if he's not willing to do that for at least 6 months without anybody noticing, without any leads coming through, without anything happening, then he shouldn't bother starting. The reason I said that is really simple, because it does take time. You can't just publish 3 videos and hope that the world starts knocking your door down. It's not going to happen. You haven't provided enough value. You haven't made enough connections. But if you, as I chose to do, decide that I'm going to post every single day for 6 months, you'll see results. Now, what are those results going to look like? I can't promise you, but you need to get started, and you need to be consistent, and you need to be committed to being consistent. If you can do that, I'm going to share with you what's happened the last 2 months in my business and how that personal authority has made a tremendous amount of difference and helped catapult what I'm doing to new levels. So that's the first thing. If you can't commit to 6 months, don't begin this journey, because it's going to take you that long. Now, do you have to do it daily? No, you don't have to create content daily, but I highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. At a minimum, you want to create multiple pieces of content every week. And yes, I know you want me to tell you that you can do 1 post a week or 1 post a month and 1 video a month, and that's going to solve your problems. It won't. Go look at some of the biggest players out there, from personalities and whether they be in marketing or celebrities or wherever. Most of those personalities are posting at least 3 to 6 unique pieces of content every single day. That could be written content, it could be videos, it could be infographics, it could be podcasts, webinars, you name it. But they're posting, as a general rule, 3 or more every single day. So my challenge to you is to start with 1 a day. Here's the good news. You can batch produce that. You don't have to create a video every day. You can create 10 of them in about 20 minutes, and then you've got 10 days of videos to put out. Those videos can be transcribed, and you can grab tidbits out of those. Even the short form video, you can grab the real catchy phrases, and you can have a secondary video or even possibly a third video out of that. You can turn that into a text that you can post on Twitter or Threads or in your Facebook or anywhere else. And then you can write content as well. You can utilize blog posts and articles and things like that to demonstrate your expertise. So the next question is, okay, I'm going to do that and I want to proceed and I'm going to give it 6 months. I'm willing to do that. What can I expect to happen? Because even before I learn how, I need to know what is going to happen. Well, everybody's going to be different, and your niche may be different than mine. But I can tell you that it took about 6 to 9 months, and I started seeing huge differences. In July, for example, after having been posting content essentially every single day, oftentimes 3 to 6 pieces every single day, all of a sudden I started getting invited to participate with other people on their podcasts. I started getting invited to do webinars with other people. I even got invited to speak at different events. And thankfully, those events went well in July. And in August, I received 12 such requests. 12 other opportunities to be and to meet other people's audiences and share my expertise. Now, I want to share with you that if you're trying to grow your business, one of the best ways to do that is by leveraging other people's audiences, especially when those audiences are similar or the same that you're marketing to. So I had the opportunity to do 7 or 8 of them in July and over a dozen so far in August. I don't know what September is going to look like, but I already have 6 engagements booked for next month, and it's not even September yet. So why do I share this with you? It's not to brag. I can't promise you that, and I'm certainly nothing special. If somebody's willing to watch an old guy like me with a white beard that's overweight, they're willing to watch anybody. But I am willing to tell you that if you stick it out and you be consistent and you work on developing your expertise and your authority, and you provide value to your customers and to your audience, you're going to win in the long run. So one of the other things that Nick asked me at lunch as I was sharing this with him, and he was wondering a little bit how he was going to create all this content, is he said, when do I sell something? And I said, well, Nick, the goal here is that you provide enough value, that you build enough rapport and credibility with people that they start reaching out to you. And I can tell you in the industry, the rule is, at least the rule that I often see, is 10 to 1. In other words, you should provide 10 pieces of value, 10 types of content of value that add value to your audience that are not sales related for every one ask that you do. I like Alex Hormozi recently came out with a new book, and he talks in his book that he likes to take it even further, and that's that he likes to give away content and give away value until such time as people reach out to him. Now, you may think that's crazy, but I also want to share with you that, Alex Hormozi just released a new book last weekend. The numbers that I've read, and I have not confirmed these, but are that he sold about 300,000 books in the first 90 minutes. That's a lot of books to sell in 90 minutes. The primary method he used to do that was he established his credibility. He built Topical authority by, for the last 2 years approximately, giving away tons of value. Did he give away money? No, he didn't. But he gave away advice and counsel, and he gave away trainings, and he did things that he was able to do once, distribute multiple places to multiple audiences, and in the process he created tremendous credibility. What did that mean? Well, it means that when it came time for him to release his new book, which probably took him a year or more to write, he had a massive audience. And again, according to reports, in the first 90 minutes alone was able to sell over 300,000 books. You don't do that through marketing. You don't do that through advertising. You do that because people know, like, and trust you. And so that should be one of your primary goals as you look at developing Topical authority, at becoming that expert. You want to build rapport, you want to create value, and you want people to look at you as a trusted authority that they know, that they like, and that they trust. Here's the amazing thing. I've never met Alex Hormozi. I've never talked to Alex Hormozi. I've watched a lot of his content. I've taken a lot of his training. And when he announced he had a new book, I didn't need to see anything else. All I needed was a link to buy the book, because I had so much trust for him that that's all it was needed. Didn't matter that the book was $30. Didn't really matter what the book was about. Alex, who I trusted, was writing a book on marketing, and I wanted to buy it. You need to do the same thing for your audience. You need to be that level of credibility that people go, wow, Jonathan, if you say it, or if you offer it, I want it, and I want to make that available. So I talk a lot about Topical authority, and it is related to so many things. But I also want to address with you one thing that it's different from, and I'll do a separate video on this, but I had another meeting after lunch today, after meeting with Nick, and in that meeting, the question came up, is Topical authority like building a personal brand? And the answer is kind of, but not really. And I'll quickly address that. I'll do another video later. Building a personal brand is about getting your messaging right and getting you right, because people are buying you. And yes, Topical authority and being an expert in your industry has something to do with that. But creating Topical authority and becoming an expert in your industry has more to do with the content you create than it does with your specific why you. Your why you is important. Understanding your why is critical. Having your messaging in line is critical. I believe that building Topical authority expands and enhances and amplifies your personal brand, but it doesn't replace your personal brand. And I hope that makes sense. I'll explain more about that later. But back to Topical authority. If you want to be seen as that expert, you want people to be reaching out to you with new opportunities, new leads, and to do business with you, You want to make sure that you're beating your competition. I want to encourage you to start creating content now. It's like planting a tree. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time to plant a tree is today. Creating content should be the same. Yes, it would have been better to start 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But we didn't, so the next best time to start is today. And I want to help you with that by giving you something of value that hopefully helps endear me to your heart. And that's what I call a topical authority content map. Because I'm in the marketing business, I have access to a lot of data from Google. And for any topic that you can come up with, I can find out what questions Google wants answered, what things they want you to create content about in order to be seen as an expert, to have that topical authority. So if you're committed to start creating your content now, let me help you out and give you a huge jump start by giving you a free topical authority map. No strings attached. All I need is an email to send it to. Go to my website at whitebeardstrategies.com/free map. All one word. So FREEMAP. So whitebeardstrategies.com/free map. All you have to do is enter your email in there. And I do ask you, I need one topic. I need to know the main topic that you want to do. So if you're a roofing company, maybe it's to be a roofer in Indianapolis. If you're a lawyer, maybe it's divorce attorney in Indianapolis or Jacksonville or Toledo or Chicago. Whatever it is, I need that one topic that you want to be known for. And then based on that, I will take the time, I will create for you a free topical authority map and send it to you. Imagine having a map to tell you what content needs to be created, what questions you need to answer in order to be seen as an expert by Google, and as a result, be seen as an expert by your audience. You can do it. And the best time to do it is to start today. I hope to see you on the other side, and I hope you take my challenge to begin creating that content today.